Ladies and gentlemen, Brent Gorda.
All right. So, lots happened in the last year. In fact, a lot's happened in the last 3 years. 3 years ago at this event, we kind of got the idea for Wham Cloud and decided that the community needed to take Lustre back from a company that obviously didn't, or that wasn't showing that it cared about Lustre, about the technology. And so we did that in Wham Cloud, and our thrust there was actually to build this community. I was thrilled to see Dave Fellinger's slide that talked about how the community's matured, because that's the model we had in mind when we were doing Wham Cloud. A couple specific things to point out about the business model here is that this group is the only group that does not want to sell you any storage hardware, right? We are completely storage hardware vendor neutral. It turns out we're also compute hardware vendor neutral. We will support Lustre on any platform, as we do at Livermore on Power, lots of AMD sites out there. Happy to support you wherever you need it, but we do not sell hardware, right? We get our income from selling support and development services, and of course we don't make much money on development, because if you can show me someone who can accurately estimate a software project, I will show you a liar, because it's not possible. And so Wham Cloud grew to be about 60 people in 7 countries, completely virtual. We had our first all-hands meeting last fall, and I walked up to Joshua, a guy that I hired about 18 months previous, and I'd only ever interacted with him on Skype. And the only thing I could think of is, dude, you're a lot taller in real life than you are on Skype. And it like kept coming back to my head. This was really weird. So my whole theory in doing the Wham Cloud thing is hire smart, hire the best guys you can, and get the hell out of their way, right? Because they are going to make stuff happen. And I think the proof's in the pudding, because that's what happened. Intel came along last summer, and mid-July we announced an acquisition, but not much has changed. I am still the boss of a business unit called the High Performance Data Division, and I still run it like a company, exactly like Wham Cloud. Inside Intel, we're called the Wham Cloud Group. So we've kept literally everything that we had before, well, except for maybe Skype doesn't work so well through the VPN. So we have a few more wrinkles than we did before. There was a bit of talk earlier today about the copyright being dispersed out. I'm the guy that made the decision to pee in the copyright pool, and I want to stand by that. I think Lustre belongs to you, to the community. I don't want to put that genie back in the bottle. I want the community, I want OpenSFS to own it. I want everybody here to own it, and us not to get into that situation that we were in with Oracle. I don't want to be the guy that owns Lustre and have that power myself. I don't want anybody to have that. So we're at Intel now. We have the same business model. My boss will say we bought Wham Cloud to be Wham Cloud, doing the exact same stuff. We've grown about 20%. We've added a couple salespeople who may be in the room here, maybe snuck out. We've added a marketing person. So we're maturing our own business model a little bit. We've lost one person since the acquisition, and that was to Inktank. I don't know if Sage is still here, so I can beat him up about taking Ian, because we really liked Ian. So on to Intel. Intel loves open source. Intel, depending on what year you measure, Intel is either the #1 or #2 contributor to the Linux kernel. Intel is completely trustable and completely above board doing this open source thing. The mind meld there for how to handle Lustre and how to contribute to this community is perfect. It works perfectly well. As you learned earlier today, we're doing a huge amount of work, a lot of lifting on our own nickel, because we want to prime the community pump. We want the community to keep growing. We're here to help as much as we can. Of course, we're not a charity. We are trying to make money at this, so it's important that you actually transact. You help out with your dollars, help out with your support, that sort of thing. We're also doing, as you saw a couple of talks ago, we're also doing a bunch of interesting experiments with the likes of Hadoop and AWS. At Wham Cloud, we had a lot of people coming to us saying we wanted to use Lustre in different environments. We're now actually starting to be able to do that, and I think it looks really promising. There's some counterintuitive pieces in here for an HPC crowd where performance may not be the key feature for Lustre and AWS, for example. And so we're working on those and hope to bring those to you, again, open source. most of all, Intel likes Lustre, right? Intel is the majority CPU manufacturer in HPC. Lustre helps HPC. So Intel likes us just to be around and to have an open source alternative to other platforms. And they're going to keep that for us. We're going to be doing that from here on out. We work with almost all the storage vendors that are sponsors here. We will team up with absolutely any of you who want to either do the storage yourself, the vendors that sell the storage. We want to help you put Lustre appropriately on your hardware and make it work in the environments for the end users. That's it.
Okay.